Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a couple destined to be in love that loves reacting to some Destiny.
Yes, we do.
So we're picking back up with Destiny 2. This is Act 2 for Echoes. Checking out all the cutscenes. And yeah, if you want all of our Destiny reactions, we got playlists for you. You want early ad-free access, we got that over on Patreon. Links in the description of this video. You get early ad-free access to both of our channels that way.
Yep.
If you just want the gaming channel, we got a little join button down below.
Yeah.
Genocide. Thousands of civilizations across the universe, all visited by the Black Fleet. All lost to the violence of the final shape. That's where this echo comes from. At least, that's our theory. Reports from the Pale Heart. Readings on the valence emanating from the Traveler. Everything we faced when we stared down the Witness and broke its fleet. At first, we didn't know what to call them, but echoes seemed apt. Memories from the victims of the pyramids, held by the darkness, then coalesced by the light into artifacts as sharp and fatal as their pain. If darkness is memory and light is form, what else could they be? But there's still so much we don't know. Is this the only one? What forgotten people gave form to this echo? What was their final cry at their end? For control? A means to turn back their oppressors?
A lot of questions,
Ikora.
Ikora.
We'll keep searching for whatever answers the Witness's death can give us. Hopefully, they number more than the questions it left behind. But we need to stop the conductor and secure the echo. Guardian, descend into Nessus. Massive amounts of radiolaria have been diverted beneath the planet's crust. We need to find out what the Vex are building there.
Okay.
Greetings, Captain. As you can see, the Vex have drained the Radiolarian Lake located in this sector.
We suspect it is at the conductor's instruction, but we do not know the reason why.
There is a 99.9 repeating percent chance that the reason is nefarious in nature.
Yep.
Please investigate.
How's this? Scavenger. Remove them, Guardian.
Working on it, Osiris.
And, Captain, watch out for the Fallen. Their reasons are probably nefarious too.
Gather Fallen data to bring down that barrier. We can only assume the Fallen here are searching for the Echo for themselves.
It doesn't take a Vex simulation to know that would be really bad.
If they secure it, it will be as disastrous as the conductor. We cannot allow their interference to persist.
These caves were carved by the retroactive flow of radiolaria caused by Vex time manipulation. That it's all been drained now is worrying. Where is it all going?
The Vex block our path. They're aware of our intentions. Wherever the radiolaria leads will tell us what we need to know about the conductor. We must delve further into Nessus. Failsafe.
The data contained in that Hydra will allow me to extract the authorization codes required to progress further into Nessus. Bring it back to the helm, and I can get started on cracking it open.
You heard her, Guardian.
Aye, Osiris.
So, I'm calculating the volume of radiolaria running through these tubes.
And it's alarming?
It is about 20 million cubic miles per hour.
Jam.
Whoa.
Like, a lot. You need to find out where it's going.
You guys guarding the hole?
Follow the flow, Guardian. It's all moving somewhere, and the conductor is controlling it. The Shadow Legion are an unnecessary complication. Cabal Scions have always had a keen interest in Vex technology, and the Echo is a strong incentive.
We crushed them on Neptune. We crushed them here.
Yeah, same for
Whatever it
dude.
takes to keep the Echo out of their hands.
With my data and your ghost interface,
Bam. Ooh.
we can divert the radiolaria and allow us passage.
That fun weapon.
Please proceed.
Or special, whatever he's got. Pretty cool.
Goodness, we're halfway done. The
course they are.
Oh, hey. Hello.
Access granted. Good luck, Captain.
It's a long way down.
Yeah, like the little look down before going across.
Yeah.
Look at all this radiolaria. It fills the planet like a water balloon. What does the conductor want with it?
I'm trying to find out.
If the conductor can control the flow of radiolaria here, it means they can control the Vex on Nessus.
They've
Spreading
mastered the
it
jump.
throughout the system would mean the conductor could bring more collectives under their yoke.
The radiolaria is flowing, but we cannot follow it further.
We need a plan. Following it blindly will take precious time. There has to be a faster way.
The radiolaria here may contain abnormalities compared to the samples I have collected over my centuries of isolation. I've had a long time to study this stuff. Bring some back, and I'll figure out what to do.
Failsafe, you need to know. If we succeed, it'll be because of your hard work here.
That is kind of you to say. However, if we fail, I abdicate all responsibility for involvement from our records.
Fair.
Back at the helm, Captain.
Guardian, I hear that you are hard at work on Nessus, following the Echo and the Conductor. I know you do this in part for me, but I do not know if I am worth the trouble.
You definitely are.
I was pulled through Nessus like a toy on a string. The Conductor's words still echo in my mind.
They were designed to.
Copy of a copy of a copy.
He knew exactly what button to push.
Osiris pushed through time to find his Saint 14. He said he was careful, but he reached blindly, and he pulled out only me. And now, I live a life that does not belong to me. I am something left over from a broken timeline. A remainder.
No, you're not.
The conductor whispered I should be thrown away. A solution as simple as correcting an error.
Well, fuck the conductor.
Maybe that would...
Nope. Don't think like that.
I do not know what to think anymore.
Maybe take a break from thinking.
You're only doing
Go get
this
drunk.
to hurt yourself, and I will not be a part of it.
Osiris, answer the question I need to know.
It doesn't matter. Not like this.
Matters to him.
As to me, please. How did I first tell you that I loved you?
Saint. You had asked me for some things, some tactical report. I gave it to you, and you thanked me, and you said that you loved me. You said it as if you had already
say
said
very
it
matter of
1,000
fact.
times before. I was not ready to say it in return, but it was not long until I was.
That is not... I do not remember it this way. That is not what happened in my simulation. We were together in the tower, overlooking the city, talking about something small. And I said what I felt in that moment. And my Osiris did not hesitate to say the same.
Your Osiris? Saint, you love me. It doesn't matter how it or where that began, not in such fine detail. Saint!
You found the other Hydra, eh, Captain? Nice. These duplicate Vex signatures have been popping up all over Nessus, sometimes on totally different frames.
I wonder if they are replicating in batches to test specific adaptations. Maybe. Greetings, Captain. Ikora briefed me on the Echo of Command. And while we AIs are constantly given commands we cannot refuse,
I understand your problem conceptually.
I have completed processing the various radiolaria samples you retrieved from Nessus. They contain no traces of abnormalities.
Which is a huge disappointment.
I was about to euthanize the samples when I realized we could mix nanomachines into the radiolaria and reintroduce it to the planet.
The nanomachines will get torn apart, but at least we can track them for a while. Maybe that'll help us figure out what's going on.
Tell me when you are prepared, and I will have no choice but to assist you.
Kidding. I'd help anyway.
All right, Captain. I've added nanomachines to the radiolaria that will allow us to track its progress down through Nessus. Please reintroduce the samples to the planet at the designated sites. Nanomachines away! I miss them already.
The natural flow is being altered. Let me mark the next site for you.
And they're off. Tracking. Captain, the radiolaria is being redirected deeper into the core of Nessus.
I can hardly pick up the signals of my nanomachines. I'm calibrating the coordinates. Got it.
They're moving through a previously unexplored area, and it appears to be heavily occupied. Prepare yourself for battle.
Hey, Captain. You're heading into the deepest parts of the planet. Those nanobots could only tell me so much. You'll need to get down there yourself if I'm going to get any useful data.
You are in unknown territory now, Guardian. Be ready.
It is a cool world.
Yeah.
Lots of
What
falling.
did the Taken want? Why are they here?
Taken are drawn to paracausal forces and those with immense strength of will. But they're leaderless now. No king and no witness. And Xivu
And no
Arath
queen.
either doesn't possess the power or doesn't have the inclination. All we can speculate is that they're drawn to the conductor.
Since you released those nanobots into the radiolaria, I can track their movement through Nessus.
Ooh.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Some like Mario
It's all
stuff.
the way on the planet's surface. It's fun looking at this place through your eyes, though.
No
Exploring,
hesitation. Just, damn.
sightseeing.
Yeah.
Even after all these centuries, there's a lot of this planet I haven't seen.
Really bad.
Uh-oh. Now we're about to
Spawning
get into
restricted.
Here the whole time? Failsafe did not know?
Failsafe sensors couldn't reach this far beneath the surface of the planet.
Now they can. Assimilating data.
Wow. 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 This was here the whole time?
Maybe. Or it could be something new. Something the conductor built when they grasped the Echo's power.
So, speaking of, those nanobots aren't responding to my signals. There's a pretty high chance the conductor hijacked them.
Excellent.
Great.
It ends here, Captain. Sorry.
It's alright, Failsafe. We can figure out another plan.
Return
Hey,
to the
we're back to
helm,
being
Guardian.
Positive.
Failsafe and I will coordinate and find out our next
Oh,
steps.
optimistic.
Captain, I am attempting to locate a particularly interesting research specimen. I will re-engage my detection protocol. Location locked in.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop.
Where is the specimen? It's supposed to be right here, I swear. Practicing. Heard me do the feet moves and everything. Okay. Lighting perimeters. Adjusting for the unlikely event of specimen locomotion.
Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop.
That was a fast beep boop.
Like a serious one.
Ha! Gotcha! Captain, the specimen appears to be biological in nature.
Okay.
Which explains how it was able to evade my earlier detection. Clever little thing.
Captain, I am analyzing the latest research sample you brought me, and it is a frog.
What?
Technically,
Okay.
one of the Nessus proto-amphibians that developed adjacent to the Vex, but yeah, pretty much a frog.
I love him.
Of course, I
Failsafe
don't
as a pet.
really know him yet, but he seems likable. I can finally bring my nurturing subroutines online.
He should have a name. In
Oh.
honor of my original
Failsafe's
commanding
first pet.
officer, Captain Jacobson, I will name the frog Captain Jacobson. Don't worry, it's an honorary title. The frog will have no real authority.
Phew. Thanks.
Oh, this brightens my day, especially after Ikora's concerning response to my theory on how I could locate the conductor. She was aghast. It seemed to cause her emotional distress. She asked me not to mention it to anyone
But you just
else.
did.
So I won't.
So now we gotta ask Ikora.
Thanks again for the frog.
The frog's got a pretty big
There's
name.
something I
Yeah.
should discuss with you.
Something you talk.
Something I'm
Failsafe talked to you about?
reluctant to suggest to Saint and Osiris. I think you'll see why.
You're not gonna suggest they break up.
Failsafe believes she could open a portal straight to the conductor. She says she could extrapolate the coordinates by combining the new Vex data you've been collecting with her years of observations of the Nessus Vex.
Okay.
But she would need to compare it against control data gathered from Vex isolated from the Nessus network. She'd need an enormous amount of data, centuries of it, captured with perfect clarity and preserved by the Vex themselves. Our options are limited and dangerous. There is only one accessible database with that kind of fidelity.
And
The mind of Saint 14.
I was afraid
Okay.
that's where this was going.
Deceased Saint 14, who is still laid to rest in the infinite forest.
damn.
Our future may depend on Saint. Again.
Yeah, that's gonna bring some trouble for Osiris in Saint 14.
Since you found me, I have only doubted who I was once. When Mithrax recounted how his people, their children, feared me, it shook me. Osiris says that I am Saint 14. My hands raised the wall. I walked with the Pilgrim Guard. How can I be a shadow of the saint who truly walked this city? When I remember the smells of the streets and the faces that smile. I met you on Mercury as I speak to you now. We fought together. I shattered the Vex for centuries. But I lived where he died. Because we showed the Vex that our fate could not be calculated. Even in simulation, we surprised them, you and I. That is true. The conductor claims I am a man out of time, an approximation of reality. Was I not this already? Hard metal and brittle memory, spark and code 14 times over.
Exactly.
Only my heart's carried through.
So maybe after this you call yourself Saint 15.
To find myself again. But the conductor claims had Osiris not created the sundial, had I remained forgotten, Sagira would live still. How could these things be connected? If it is true, I will not take my love from him as well, for it is strong, and he will need it.
Even if that is true,
Don't
like,
be afraid. You would know what to do. I am still trying, but I will find myself again.
think how many people you've saved, Saint 14.
The frogs are saved. We brought a new crew member aboard. Thank you, Captain.
I suspect this little guy's toxic secretions insulated it from Vex radiolaria. Impressive.
The Vex will adapt to assimilate this species along with the rest of Nessus. But we can protect them with violence.
Just the way she says that.
Okay.
We choose violence.
I am honored to house you.
Oh, frog.
Yeah. Pet it?
Remember to wear gloves when touching Captain Jacobson. His toxin excretions are necrotizing.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Hi, Captain Jacobson.
Hi, Captain Jacobson. This is the rest of the video, by the way.
Trying to pet the frog.
Yeah, just playing the
Hello
front.
again,
Captain Jacobson.
Captain. We have an interesting metaphysical task ahead of us today. As I understand it, years ago, Osiris rescued the Saint unit we are familiar with from a Vex simulation. In doing so, he created a paradox. The Saint unit is alive with us now, but simultaneously dead within the Vex network. The databanks of that deceased Saint unit are filled with information. Information I believe I can use to locate the conductor.
The thing is, Saint Unit will have to download the memories of his other self. Experience years of suffering. His own death.
Damn.
It'll be kind of awful. And he hasn't really been in a good place lately.
Yep, this would actually help him out because then he'll
The
like
conductor must
feel like
be
the real Saint 14 because he has all the
confronted.
memories
I'm
of
sure Saint
that.
unit will understand.
Yeah.
Won't he?
Of all his memories. Like, dude, what you need to talk to is Crow. Him and Aldrin.
Ikora and I have made a plan. We can use what we know about the Veil and the Vexnet.
Osiris is not gonna like this.
Why would you need to?
We will go to my tomb. In the timeline where I died fighting the Vex. My true death.
When you were taken from me.
Yes. I can use the memories of that Saint 14. My memories.
I remember when the Vex killed my crew. Those memories will haunt me forever.
Feel safe.
I mean,
Thanks, Failsafe.
it's not so bad. Except for the horrors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nightmares are great.
Everything I learned, everything I did. I fought the Vex for many, many years.
I remember.
Ikora thinks we can use the data to find this conductor and secure the Echo.
No. I won't. We can find another way. Fail safe.
It must be done. So I will do it. Ikora told me I was once the Vex's greatest opponent. She said I should remind them.
Good job, Ikora. I was just what to say.
I need to think. This can't be the only path left to us.
The Saint unit has already made up his mind.
Yeah, Osiris, you gotta respect it.
He needs you right now. You know he can't do it without you, right?
Yep.
Good job, Failsafe.
Safe
Right.
will join us shortly. We seek access to his tomb.
We are grave robbing.
That is one way of putting it.
The
She's, like, so
interim
excited
Saint
about
is
it.
Still VexNet. Their memory core is a back channel into the network.
Saint must understand there are no lesser versions. Only expressive tessellations of what could be. And facing his death
Tessellations.
again is the cost of that revelation.
I was in a dictionary when Osiris starts talking.
So be it.
Joss words. Never heard before.
Nessus reshapes itself around this Vex fluid. Soon, we will hardly recognize it. The Infinite Forest was on Mercury. How do we reach it from here?
Access here is somewhat like an archive, imprinted into the magnetic field of Nessus.
The Vex used Nessus for defunct digital storage. They kept trying to plug me into it. And wow, is exposing me to their connection protocols going to backfire? They should have predicted that.
What did you mean about the data here being defunct?
Nice.
The Guardian pulled you from a point before your death to a point after it. To the Vex, that temporal event is a defunct anomaly now, non-existent within this timeline. So it is kept here, stored in Nessus's memory.
This is all
The
very confusing.
details that separate him and I, if they fade away, will I be his shadow? Or will he be mine?
It might
I
just be
can't
merged.
answer that for you. You're you. Were you less you before today? I tore open time for you.
It's quite a romantic phrase. I tore up in time for you. I'm gonna write that song. Nobody can steal it from me.
Point, Guardian.
Copyright.
Locate a conflux.
We'll go in
Will
Destiny the
react
musical.
to our attempt to breach the tomb.
Yes, they're doing that now. This is exactly as complex as I anticipated. I'm almost in.
Every time I see a triangle, it's the final shape. The triangle's gonna be lit up too. Oh, I'm just kind of feeling like I Tore Up in Time for You is actually more country. It's a country song. I tore up in time for you.
And will be.
Girl, you know it's true.
Osiris, why did they keep my body?
Respect. They honor you with a perfect preservation. There's no replacing you, Saint. Even the Vex recognize that.
The Vex are very meticulous.
But also weirdly sentimental.
Oh, geez, here it is.
There.
I am.
Wait. When I searched for you in the Infinite Forest, I saw this again and again. You, entombed, taken away from me, perhaps forever. When finally I found you, I thought I would never have to see it again.
I am here, Osiris. You told me that I am real.
So is he. Do it. Remember the Vex. But also how much I loved you in that timeline, too. Saint!
Jeez, you can flow with a ton of information.
I tear through the Vex. They cannot stand against me. They hesitate. They are afraid of me. Oh,
Good reason.
then Geppetto is hurt. I I try to protect her, but I am too late.
Here's stuff.
I pull a Minotaur apart with my bare hands. But soon, I fall. The Vex approach. They are lifting me up. I lose my senses. I cannot feel my body. My vision blinks in and out.
Stop. Please.
I am on this slab, but I have one final feeling. A memory of us. Together.
His last thoughts were of you.
I am bringing you tea. I watch you take a sip. It is too hot, but you smile.
Gotta let her warm up her own tea.
That is my last thought. My phoenix. I am gone. But no, here I am. With both of you. I am Saint 14.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
You cannot hide from me anymore.
Shit.
I have the coordinates, Saint Unit. Good luck.
All right, so painful, but gave him resolve. Seemed to help him out. Like, you know, he was lost there for a second.
Saint Unit, Captain, I have achieved coordinate lock. I'm rerouting the conductor's radiolaria flow to this location. So, hey, while redirecting the conductor to you, they were real in there. I pulled some other Vex along, and you're surrounded. Maybe we can reason with them?
Yes, Guardian. Reason them with the big guns. Protect Osiris until the way is clear.
Captain, I am patching in cover. Eyes up.
Eyes up, Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, it is.
Violence succeeded where diplomacy failed. And I got that pesky bump door open before the Vex cut our connection. You have a clear path to the conductor.
Excellent work, fail-safe. Now it is us telling them what to do.
Oof. They rise, they fall. They rise, they fall.
Lakshmi?
That's an
The green
outfit.
tentacles.
Yeah. Lakshmi?
Is a facsimile its archetype? No, I am Maya Sandrash. But we have already met.
Thunderish. So this is what happened to you after Neomuna, after your experiments with the veil.
I know what you can do with the Echo of Command. I will not allow you to raise an army of Vex.
I'm doing what I've been called to do.
The Vex called to you.
Humanity called to me. The collapse, the Black Fleet is finished. Now we can look back to what we've lost. Radiolaria is the means to this end. It represents the smallest unit of consciousness. A trillion formless minds, notes in a symphony of thought. Each one begging for direction, for a conductor. Nessus will be converted. The radio area I command will be spread throughout the system. I will deliver us a golden age. And if you stand in the way of progress, I will break you down into more compliant elements.
We are not your Vex.
You will be.
You will be.
Get us out of here, now!
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so
Maya Sandrash, risen from the Vax network. She has Lakshmi's face. Osiris tells me it must be a mask she feels comfortable wearing. Well, it did not comfort me. And today was already filled with ghosts of the past. Guardian, before I claimed the memories of the other me, I was afraid.
yeah, we know.
I was already filled with doubt, and I thought I might lose myself.
Valid concern.
But as his thoughts merged with mine, it was as though I lived through his centuries of struggle. And my feelings, our feelings, were in perfect harmony. And suddenly, all questions the conductor put in my mind were answered. It does not matter if I am the real saint or the true saint. Every me is me.
Yeah.
So, when Maya tried to command me again, I used my truth to push her away. But she still forced me to my knees.
Yeah.
She's
She is
strong.
growing stronger. We must return to stop her, but she has blocked our access. Failsafe is working on a way through, and when she finds it, I will be ready.
The research on Yomuna's Veil facility is complete. As the report is lengthy, I will summarize. Maya Sandrash and Chioma Essie were a married pair of researchers in the Golden Age. Their work often touched on the Vex. They found an object on Neptune that whispered to Maya in her
Okay,
own
yeah.
voice.
Who was on Neptune?
That artifact, the Veil, is of the darkness, as the Traveler is of the light. Maya grew obsessed with it. Chioma grew afraid. In her compulsion to study the Veil, Maya took no heed of any risks or of Chioma's doubts. Humans under her command died. Exominds were wiped. Maya wanted a chorus that could channel the power of the Veil. And to control that chorus, she built an imprint of herself named Lakshmi. Soon afterwards, Maya entered the Vex network. She left no trace. Chioma exiled Lakshmi, shut down all Veil research, and redacted it from Neomuna's history. In a final act, Chioma entered the network herself.
Oh, so she's in there. Maybe she can help
Maya's
us.
and Chioma's were already inside, simulated hundreds of times by the Vex. It's possible that the Echo brought many Mayas together into the Conductor. Or perhaps only the first. There is no way to know which, if any, directed the Conductor's actions. But it would be folly to underestimate any Maya Sandrash.
I'm glad they gave us that recap.
Okay,
Because like the name sounded familiar, but like I didn't remember her. Like I knew something on Neptune with
What's the most violent research I've ever seen?
Nimbus, whatever.
And
Like not
it
Nimbus,
was
but
worth it.
Yep.
Now we know that conductor's Vex use Minotaurs to override frames with combat protocols.
The stuff with the strand and everything that
We
plays.
can use that
Yeah.
while you're on missions to force high data mines to fight us instead of hiding.
Which is dangerous because they have lasers, but lucrative because they have the most data.
Do you still imagine all the possibilities life could have? As I did?
You sound like the Witness.
Or has fate made other choices for us? If we are to stray from our predetermined path, our salvation requires sacrifice. I experimented to find the words that would make you understand. Make you see what I see.
She's kind of fucked up.
But for you, the cost was always too great. Lifetimes passed before I realized, for me, you are too great a cost. Somewhere was another us that made the right choices. A better us. A better you.
Better you.
Oh, this sounds like love.
Imprisoned by fate. I do not know what that version looks like. Us. Perfected. But I will.
Sounds like she was kind of inspired by Saint 14 on Osiris.
I still dream of what we could be.
It's like, oh,
And in one of the many iterations in which we have peace, I only want the one that is real. I will find our golden age, our perfect future, yours and mine. And if you cannot see why my methods are necessary, I have the tools to make you understand.
oh,
Oh God.
yeah. Your Love's Kind of Twisted.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be another song. Your Love's Kind of Twisted. It's gonna be track 2 on my album,
Okay.
my Destiny album. Yeah, like it felt like, I don't know, she was inspired by. It's like, well, look what Osiris did for Saint 14, and isn't that romantic? Although she was telling Saint 14 that he was a copy of a copy and like trying to like break him or whatever, and so that's not cool. But she's trying to do like not the same thing, but like a twisted version of that. I mean, trying to reconnect with Chiyomi and find like what she said calls the perfect her, the one that agrees with the perfect version of you is the one that agrees with me.
That's just it. She's so controlling.
Yeah.
It's a very unhealthy love, obviously, but also the joy of life, which is also the challenges of life, are the imperfections.
Yeah.
And that's true with having a partner. Like the joy of having a partner and the challenges are knowing their imperfections, living with their imperfections, having fun with their imperfections. But like that's what it is. Versus, I mean, like,
Just how many times she looked at me when she said imperfections.
I only have one partner.
Yes, but you only looked at me during the imperfections part. Sorry, I interrupted. Another imperfection.
But you know, like, I don't know. It's like she wants to create the perfect, like, robot version of her love, who will do exactly whatever she programs it to do and say whatever she programs it to say and think and feel whatever she programs it to think and feel, and that's not real. That's nothing. That's
It's like, so speaking of imperfections, the last memory of Saint 14 that died was of bringing tea to Osiris, and it was too hot. If that happened, if Chiyomi did that to Maya would have killed her and gotten another version of her. It's like, no, this is not the perfect version. My perfect version brings me tea that is not too hot. It's the perfect temperature.
But the other part of that memory was it was too hot and Osiris smiled.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that Saint 14 has probably done 100 times. He's not gotten the temperature right yet, but this is part of their relationship. It's part of what they love about each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that Osiris gets, or it's not that Saint 14 gets the perfect temperature. It's that Saint 14 tries and thinks about bringing him tea.
And Saint 14 does burn a little bit too hot sometimes.
And there's that.
So there is that. Yeah, like I said, I love that they actually like gave that just quick summary. Because like, I mean, all that happened, and it was like I said, I vaguely remembered it, but it was a lot of, it wasn't even like talking heads. It was like, you know, we're at the computer or whatever, and then like it's Osiris talking.
Right, listening to the...
Yeah, we're listening to it, and like we're listening to Maya's and Chiyomi's like recordings or whatever. It's audio logs. And so it's like, I mean, those don't always necessarily like sit at the forefront of your brain when you're afterwards. So it was like, it's cool that they brought that all back and like together. It's also great having the actress back for Lakshmi, because she's a great voice actress.
I was thinking that same thing. I was like, I'm so glad she's our next villain, because I love her voice. She's got such a texture and a quality to her voice, and she's a dynamite actress.
Yeah.
So like, you know, getting her back is just fun. I will say that the initial story of Maya and Chiyomi, and how like Maya goes into the Veil.
Yeah.
And then Chiyomi kind of handles all of the business and then goes into the Veil herself.
Yeah.
Like, that felt to me like a love story. Like, Maya became obsessed, and that's not good. But like, Maya pursued her work and her passion, and Chiyomi loved her so much that once Chiyomi kind of handled everything, she was like, I would rather go in looking for her than stay out here without her. So like, that's a love story. But now we're putting something so twisted in its place, because Maya has become so obsessed and so controlling that just, I love the way that they just kind of made me feel very uncomfortable.
You saying that kind of makes me think of Robin Williams film, where he goes looking for his wife.
Yep.
He basically chooses the same thing of like kind of one going after her and then like staying there with her.
What Dreams May Come?
What Dreams May Come. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why like A Walk to Remember was the name I wanted to say it, and that's not it. I don't think I've ever...
Mandy Moore movie.
And I've never seen that movie before. Promise that this is not an imperfection. I've never, or maybe it is an imperfection I've never seen it before. But like, so I'm like, why is that one? What's it called? What Dreams May Come.
What Dreams May Come.
I don't know how, like A Walk to Remember, What Dreams May Come. Those are things like very close together. So I don't know why that was in my head. That was the name of the film. Anyways.
A Walk to Remember, A Walk in the Clouds. Like, those movie titles confusing to understand.
It's true. And had A Walk in the Clouds been the name of that Robin Williams movie, I would have made a lot more sense if that was in my head. Or if I had even seen A Walk to Remember, it would have made a lot more sense.
That's true too.
Anyways, clearly this is fate telling me I need to watch that movie, I guess. This was good. This focused more like on like the story itself, whereas like the first part like was nice humor. Like it's like added some humor. We just gotten over like, you know, we just did the whole Cade and Ghost and everything, and so it was nice that they brought in the humor, and then like they ended it on such a sort of I don't remember downer is the right word, but like, you know, it's like, okay, things are gonna get serious again, and then like having the resolution and Saint 14 tapping into his old self and finally realizing it doesn't matter like what dimension I'm from, timeline I'm from, like I'm still Saint 14, and what, you know, so every version of me is me, and I like that.
I also like, because you were talking about how we just came out of obviously super serious with the final shape and some downers with Ghost and then Cade 6, and thank God for Failsafe.
Yeah.
We're going grave robbing. I mean, she's just exactly what we need in this moment. I hope that she stays around for a very long time in the future Destiny journeys, because she is great. The voice actress who voices her dueling personality crushes it. I mean, just no notes. Zero. None whatsoever. Captain Jacobson.
Jacobson, we got a frog. Captain Jacobson petted the frog. And that's just also, violence succeeded where diplomacy failed.
Yes. I choose violence.
Yeah, that was awesome.
She would like Cersei Lannister. I feel like Failsafe would be a Cersei Lannister fan.
Agreed. Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And thanks so much for watching our reaction for Destiny 2, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.